The only podcast without any inside jokes. This is Bombers.
Hi everybody, welcome to another thrilling and engaging episode of Bombers. I am Bomber number 5, Anthony aka Deg, and I am joined today by Bomber number 3, Xiaber aka Xiaber. How you doing, Xiaber?
I am doing fine.
Doing fine? Tell me something interesting that happened recently to you. Tell me something interesting that happened to you ever. Tell me the story of your life. How'd your parents meet?
Well, let's see here. They met in a community college class, actually. I think it was speech.
A speech class?
Yeah.
Nice. That's actually a good story. I mean, it's the good setup to a story.
Yep. They were dirt poor, and they got together, and then they became fabulously wealthy, rich, and then I became Batman. It was really sad.
Oh no. I'm sorry to dredge up such bad memories. Well, or bat memories?
No. This conversation is over.
What are we doing today? Not much to talk about, honestly. But there are some new things. There's actually nothing new, but I was trying to get you into the...
I was looking at the sheet like, what? I don't see anything
What?
new.
No, it's just bombastic news.
Hey,
It's,
guys. Did you know that we have a Patreon?
What?
Yeah. If you
Neat.
think that you should earn our friendship, you know what it takes to earn our friendship?
What does it take to earn our friendship, Cyber?
Cold hard cash in the form of digital currency. And Patreons. Patreon.
Patreon Pats. I feel like digital currency is probably not actually cold hard. I feel like it's probably spicy. Like, digital currency is spicy currency, right?
Or like licking a battery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so...
Except...
Anyway, if you feel like you would like to become our friends and give us money, well, you are in for a show. Pre- and post-show, anyway.
Ooh.
Because we started recording ourselves before and after our episodes, and friends of the show get to listen in and see the magic of us setting them up.
You're telling me, Xiaber, right now, telling me that someone can pay money to listen to even more of us talking at each other?
I have no idea why, but yes.
Wow, what a deal.
Anyway, shout outs to our current friends of the show, Haley, Aaron, Minted Peas, and Reaper, and our best friends, Anne and Rob.
Thanks, guys. You're all awesome, and we love you.
If you'd like to see more information about our Patreon, you can go to our Patreon, ThisIsBombers, or you can go to our fancy schmancy website, ThisIsBombers.com, where it has information about our Patreon, plus more.
Like, what more, Xiaber?
I'm so glad you asked. Maybe.
Are you?
No.
Are you glad I asked?
No.
You
Dang
gave me
it,
the
now I
deer in
gotta
the headlights.
Now I gotta explain everything. On our website, you can see an About Us section, About Us Bombers. You can see our Discord, our email, our Twitch, where we regularly play games quite regularly. And you can also see our Patreon on there as well, as I said before.
Oh. Should we give another quiz? Nobody answered our quiz last week.
What was the one from last week?
It was, what scale are we rated on? And the answer, for those who don't feel like going to the website, was in the About Us page. The very first bullet point has a reference to the official Tsukasa scale of awesomeness. That was the answer that we were looking for.
Interesting.
Yep, sure is. If I had pre-planned something, maybe, but this is...
How about this, guys? When do Survival Sundays, when are they scheduled to start?
What day does Survival Sundays happen on? Tell us in the
At
Bombers
what
chat on the
time
Discord.
on Sundays?
And again, as always, get a hearty pat on the back for solving the Bombers quiz, which is a bit that I came up with that I regret doing and probably won't happen next week.
How sad. Anyways, that is the bombastic news. I don't think I mentioned that, but that was bombastic news, all of that.
The news that is bombastic.
Yes. What about the releases that are upcoming?
The upcoming releases?
Yeah.
There's not an exceeding amount, but there are some things coming out in the next week. We have on April 12th, which I have already forgotten what day of the week that is. That's Tuesday. That's tomorrow. April 12th tomorrow is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim coming to the Switch. This is a Vanillaware Atlas game that was released on PlayStation 4 back in 2020. It's getting a Switch port. I thought it was worth mentioning just because, one, I mean, Atlas ports to the Switch, kind of pretty good thing at least. And two, Atlas games in general, really good for collecting.
Yeah, it does seem like a pretty good game. I don't think it actually has a physical release in any form. But I did get it digitally on the PS4 when it was on sale. So I gotta play it at some point.
I didn't look that close. No, it has physical.
Does it?
There's a physical copy. The Switch release is coming physical, and yeah, there's pre-owned available on GameStop. For some reason, the link that I clicked sent me to GameStop. So it did have a physical release on PS4, and it's getting a physical release on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It has like a crap ton of characters, but apparently like better than how Octopath did it, which honestly probably doesn't take much.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But, like, apparently you can compare the game to Octopath. So, like, if you liked Octopath, you're probably going to like 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.
And again, it's an Atlas thing, so if you're a collector, it's going to retain its value, probably. We also have 2 games that I felt were worth mentioning coming out on the 14th, which is this Thursday. That is, first of all, a PS4, PS5, and Switch release of Nobody Saves the World, which was originally released on the Xbox line plus PC, because that's basically the Xbox line at this point.
Yeah.
Back in January, it was one of those limited time exclusive things.
Oh, that was pretty limited time.
Yeah, only 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is getting the PS4, PS5, Switch release, I believe. Was it Piddle that really enjoyed playing this one because it has all the different, not quite job classes, but like you play as nobody, and it literally, the character you play as is called Nobody, but he's Nobody because he can become anyone else.
I mean, I've never heard of this game before, but I already love the art style of it.
Yeah.
And it's got like 8 or
cool
9 out of 10 scores from everyone, so.
Yeah, and I believe it was Piddle and maybe Melon Senpai that quite enjoyed it.
Now with local co-op.
It had a bunch of that whole job class grinding style gameplay, but in an enjoyable way, as opposed to certain other not fun grinding games. But I figured that was worth mentioning, that it's getting that side release, or no longer a limitedly exclusive type of release. And then, on the same day, coming to the Switch and the PC is Cat Cafe Manager.
And that just sounds adorable.
But yeah, looking at the catcafemanager.com, the official site, it does look adorable, and it seems right up the alley for a lot of our audience.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it's friggin' adorable looking, and there's like...
I will literally die for these cats.
Yeah.
Because I'm allergic to cats.
But they're cute. If anything happened to these cats, I'd kill everybody here and then myself.
I mean, I heard that there's a Cafebara cafe out there, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's where I really need to go at some point.
Not as opposed to a cat, not a cat cafe, but a cat bar.
Capybara, the animal. You silly goose.
Oh, sorry, capybara. I heard cat bar. No, Capybara sounds awesome. I want to go to a Capybara cafe. A Cafebara.
Although a cat bar does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds great. There's nothing cooler than getting drunk and hanging out with cats. Let me tell you, it's basically my life. Very
Oh
cool.
no. I heard that cool cats don't do drugs.
Cyber. Winners don't do drugs. Those are the upcoming releases. Anything that you're actually interested in with these? Anything that I've made you interested in, Xiber?
I mean, I already got 13 Sentinels on PS4 because when I saw it was coming out on Switch, I was like, oh, that looks cool. Oh, there's already a PS4 version that will probably run better.
Oof. But probably true.
I mean, there's certain games that I like getting on the Switch, just not necessarily RPGs. Nobody
like
Saves the World, definitely interesting.
Yeah, that one's intriguing. I feel like RPGs would be the thing that would run the best on the Switch because you don't necessarily need quick reaction timey, etc.
It depends on the game because, like, there's plenty of RPGs that have really good graphics and such.
Shall we move on
Yes.
to the weekly bomb?
Let's move on to the next part of the news of the past week.
Or the upcoming week for the upcoming releases. I don't know. Here's news stuff. What do you got? What do you got, Xiber?
All right, so since I literally only follow Kingdom Hearts news on Twitter and nothing else, I found out that the Proud Family, which has a reboot going on Disney Plus right now, one of the latest episodes had Kingdom Hearts reference in the form of someone playing Kingdom Hearts in it.
That's not really a reference. I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
is that a reference? It just is Kingdom Hearts in the game.
I mean, it wasn't.
Or in the
it
show.
wasn't the actual Kingdom Hearts. They made the game level of the game they're playing. It looked like the Station of Awakening from the beginning of the first Kingdom Hearts game, and then they had a Sora-looking character as the character they were playing as and such. So, like, people had to make the artwork of a person playing a Kingdom Hearts-looking game, and they did it on purpose because they're Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yep. Well, having now quickly Googled this and pulled up the images, yeah, that's definitely just actually Kingdom Hearts. It's got the action bar on the left. It's got the
health
Sora
circle.
hair. The belts. Dude has big shoes and belts.
Yeah, so it's still a reference though because it isn't actually Kingdom Hearts.
But it's basically
they didn't just put a video of Kingdom Hearts in the cartoon somehow. Anyway,
Yeah, I guess
it's really cool
that's
because like just a week or so earlier there was one of those Mickey Mouse cartoons where they had the Keyblade in it at one point. So it's like, hey, we're just randomly getting Kingdom Hearts stuff and Disney stuff now. Yay! Except it's not really Disney, like, referencing Kingdom Hearts. It's the people making the shows being like, hey, I'm gonna put this in here because I feel like it.
Which is kind of Disney, though.
Disney allowed it. They didn't ask for it. So I guess it's one step forward. Especially because we got
how is it
Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event happening yesterday. from you listening to this, I guess.
How is it a step forward exactly?
Because
it feels like it's just.
So there was a point where Disney would not do anything about Kingdom Hearts. They at one point had a Sora mascot character. Not like a person cosplay as Sora, literally a Sora bodysuit a person would wear. And that disappeared after its like one or two uses. And then mid 2000s.
So around about
probably early
Kingdom Hearts
2000s.
2.
Yeah, because it was the Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora outfit, so it was probably prior to 2. And since then, like, they just rarely had any merchandise. We're starting to see more Kingdom Hearts merchandise, but, like, it's not really Disney selling it. It's just Disney publishing it, I guess, to be sold at, Halloween stores and such.
Well, and it also feels like a lot of it is more coming from Square than from Disney.
Yeah, well, the issue is that Kingdom
kinda
Hearts
how it
is
feels.
owned by Disney. Square just makes the games.
Yeah, but a lot of the merchandise related to Kingdom Hearts is feels more centered around the Square side of it and less, hey, this is a Disney thing. No, it's just Kingdom Hearts. It's off in its own world, and occasionally it has Disney in it.
Now, more specifically,
At least to me, that's...
More specifically, it just only involves the new Disney characters, quote unquote, or Mickey and Donald and Goofy. It doesn't include like any of the Square Enix characters or anything.
Well, they've practically disappeared almost entirely.
Yeah, and I'm blaming that on
relevance.
Disney also.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But when Haley and I went to Disney World on our honeymoon, we specifically sought out any kind of Kingdom Hearts merchandise. We found two those enamel pins that they have. And two of them were Kingdom Hearts related. That's all we found.
Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of lackluster. Not a lot of selection there, huh?
Yeah. But anyways, I just think it's cool to see Kingdom Hearts stuff out in the wild like that.
It is interesting with as mainstream as Kingdom Hearts, Disney does very little to actually acknowledge it.
Yeah. I remember when I would see YouTube videos of the... crap. I can't remember the term. The top crossover media and stuff, and then Kingdom Hearts will be number one. And I'll be like, oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts is a crossover. It's Disney and Square Enix.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
that's the premise.
Well, Kingdom Hearts is just so, its own thing at this point that I forgot that it was originally a crossover idea.
I mean, technically, Smash Brothers is a crossover thing, even though it's...
Yeah.
Even the original Smash Brothers stuff, even though it started as just Nintendo stuff, that's still counted as crossover.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see Smash Bros. In those videos, too.
Nowadays, it's real, ever since, Brawl, I guess, with Sonic. And I guess, Solid Snake.
Yeah.
That makes it real crossover. That's Kingdom Hearts right there. Smash Brothers X Kingdom Hearts, go.
Mushroom Kingdom Hearts.
Which I guess is true because Sora's in Kingdom Brothers now.
Kingdom
Smash
Brothers.
Hearts. I messed that up.
Yep.
Kingdom Brothers coming soon. It's like what is that? Kingdom Battle, the Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah. Mario's
XCOM
been
games.
so many crossovers.
Well, that's what you get for being a flagship mascot.
Yeah, but compared to other flagship mascots, it's not even comparable.
Comparable. Yeah, I guess I don't. That is interesting because think of Mickey Mouse, who has only ever been in what Kingdom Hearts and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and that's it.
Yep. Disney is very tight with their IPs.
Sonic was in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep, he was also in
Smash Brothers.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. It
Well,
all goes
at that
back to
point.
Mario.
Yeah, well, and Smash Brothers, which goes back to Mario.
Mario was referenced in Wreck-It Ralph.
But Sonic was in Wreck-It Ralph.
Bowser was in Wreck-It Ralph.
Bowser was in Wreck-It Ralph. He was, yeah, that's true. Huh. But not Mickey Mouse.
No, well, that makes sense.
But yeah, but not any of the Kingdom Hearts stuff.
That also makes sense. They didn't have arcade Kingdom Hearts games. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair. I had to sit here and think, that's true. That's true. Well, I'd say overall, I'm going to label this one as the bomb.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And obviously it's Kingdom Hearts related, so it doesn't matter. You think it's the bomb no matter what it actually is.
Yep.
Mine, I found an interesting little article. There is, in the works, a Blade Runner tabletop RPG that will be launched on Kickstarter in May with a planned full release this fall. So on one hand, yeah, it's Kickstarter, but on the other hand, a lot of these TTRPGs are being kickstarted these days. There's the Avatar role-playing game that was kickstarted.
Are any of these
it's the big one that I can think of, at least.
It's are these official things if they're being kickstarted?
They still need to obtain the proper licensing, or they will get cease and desisted immediately.
So they're hoping to pay
yes,
for
they
it with
are
the
official.
kickstarting.
Yeah, I mean that's because it's interesting. Like there was I just learned about this in this article actually, an RPG called The One Ring, which is a Lord of the Rings tabletop RPG. And then there was the Avatar one. But what I was going for with that is, yeah, you still have to get the licensing rights. Maybe you pay for the licensing rights as part of the upfront cost, or you have an agreement that certain percent of the Kickstarter is going to go towards the licensing or something like that. But for the people who are giving out the license, that's generally a safer bet than, you know, well, instead of paying money to develop a tabletop, we'll just let Kickstarter handle it and crowdfund it, and that way it costs less and we'll just reap the benefits thereof. That said, it is interesting. There's this Blade Runner RPG coming out on the tail of, there was recently, I mean, obviously Cyberpunk 2077, which was pushing the cyberpunk genre into the public consciousness. There was the Cyberpunk Red new edition, or maybe it was even just a new game that is the same exact rules that are in Cyberpunk 2077, that I think that was Kickstarter as well, and that had been in development for years before it finally actually released. And now we've got this other Cyberpunk role-playing game.
So what I'm hearing is that the world should be surrounded by cyberpunk TTRPGs.
I'd be okay with that, honestly. It's good stuff. I like Cyberpunk, and I like TTRPGs. Some minor details on this, which there will be more, obviously, when the Kickstarter goes live next month. But it apparently is being designed to take place between the original Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. And player characters will have the ability, or have the option, I should say, to play as either full human or replicant Blade Runners, playing off of the two different types of Blade Runners that we saw in the actual films, which is Harrison Ford, who in 2049 was confirmed to have been a human the whole time. Or was that Ryan Gosling was in that movie? Who was the main character, who was confirmed to be a replicant. So both replicants...
I have no idea.
I liked that film. But yeah, both replicants and humans can be Blade Runners. Both in the actual lore of the setting and in this RPG. It's something that I'm going to keep an eye on. So I'm going to name this The Bomb, as much as it being a Kickstarter is mildly concerning, I suppose.
Of course. Well, it's like how anything Kingdom Hearts is the bomb for me. Anything TTRPG
Well, not anything.
is the bomb.
I have some standards.
You know what they really should do is they should kickstart Tiny Tina's Wonderlands TTRPG.
That would be
So it's like,
actually awesome.
Video game based off of TTRPGs. How about TTRPG based off of video game based off of TTRPG?
Well, it's a video game based off of a TTRPG in a video game, and then we can have a TTRPG based off of a video game based off of a TTRPG in a video game.
It's like when they made Battleship the game, the movie.
Battleship the
Or
game,
the movie, the game, whatever.
It's like, what was it? Need for Speed, which was originally just Fast and Furious the game, but without the licensing, and then they made the Need for Speed.
Was it?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. It was originally designed as like a Fast and Furious, like early Tokyo Drift era Fast and the Furious, because you know how old Need for Speed is. But it was Need for Speed was that, so it was a racing game based off of a movie series, and then they made the Need for Speed movie, and then they made and that was a movie based off a game based off movies, and then they made the Need for Speed the movie the game, which was a game based off a movie based off a game based off a movie. We have to go deeper.
Do we?
Yeah,
I don't think we need to.
we have to. At this point, the recursion must recurse. I'd say put in the
until it just makes a circle and repeats.
Ouroboros. Ugh. Ouroboros?
Ouroboros. That's the guy from Bravely Default.
Ouroboros?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
Ouroboros.
that is the weekly bombs,
Yeah.
I guess.
Much like the Ouroboros, this episode is eating itself.
Oh, I wish.
What?
Anyways, that next is the Minish Recap, where we keep talking about stuff that's happened in the past week.
Yeah.
This time, games or media that we have consumed.
This is the past.
Keep that eating thing going on.
Yeah, this is the past week episode.
Go ahead.
Am I going
We
first?
can talk about how we are playing Final Fantasy XIV,
Yeah,
the MMO.
my arm got twisted, I guess. I have not. So I bought Final Fantasy XIV back in like 2017 to play with my roommate, and then it became the traditional MMO problem of, yeah, you should get this game and play with us. Okay, cool. I got the game. Let's play together. Okay, well, you have to level up, so we're not going to play with you until you're leveled up. So go level up. Well, I bought this to play with you. If I'm not playing with you, I'm not playing it. So you have to play with me to level me up. And so I played it for all of like 12 hours maybe, got to level 20 and went, I hate this. This is not why I don't have time for an MMO. I got this to play with people and nobody's playing with me. I'm out. And I did not touch it.
That's a ridiculous amount of time to get to level 20.
This was also back in 2017 before the game was good.
Yeah.
So
My experience with 14 is that I got the free trial, but that was back when the free trial sucked. And so when they made the new free trial, I could no longer get the free trial for that account, so then I had to make a new account, did the free trial again, and at one point Amazon offered a free month subscription, and I took that, but then I found out that means I couldn't go back to the free trial after the month of subscription.
which is such a dumb way
And
of running
so now I am on my third account, which is definitely the first I've gotten. So
it. Yeah.
I got back into it because I still need to get through the expansion Heaven's Word, and our dear friend, or our dear acquaintance, not friend of the show, whatever, Kevy is playing 14, and she's like, hey, yeah, we could play together. And so now I have someone that can actually make a party and add me to it, because free people can't make parties.
Well, for what it's worth, back in 2017, when I played the game, it was subscription only, which meant that when I tried to play it now, I found out the same problem that you had, which is, if you've ever paid for a subscription ever, you can't go back to a free account, period. The only way to play it again is to subscribe again, which is bananas. And
Well, that's why I'm trying to do as much as I can for free, and also kind of hoping that maybe the second expansion will be a part of the free trial someday.
yeah, if they release more. I mean, there's been a big resurgence in the game recently. There's a lot of people playing it. We could probably get more people to play. If you're listening and are interested in playing Final Fantasy XIV with the Bombers, we're on the Discord. Hit us up.
Yeah, we'll start a free company. I can't join the free company because I'm a free trial person, but everyone else can be in the free company.
You can join parties and stuff, at least, Xiaber. And you can be in the Final Fantasy XIV channel on the Discord server that I will make if there's enough interest.
Yeah, otherwise it's just us talking in video game chat for the once a week we play or something. So anyway, I am a scholar where I have a little fairy to heal people. Dag, you're currently a thaumaturge, which is healer.
I always main healers in pretty much all games, so
now see, that'll be fine when you get to high level dungeons that do a full party of 8, because then I believe we should be able to both be healers.
Right.
But for now, when you unlocked your first dungeon, I had to downgrade myself to Arcanist, be a DPS person, and it sucked. But it was also because it's the first dungeon, so like we don't have crap to use.
Yeah. And I did not start a new account. I went, screw it, I'm just keeping it. I'll pay for a month, see if people play, and then continue the subscription from there if we're actually doing it. So I can make parties, Xiaber. I can join the free company.
Yeah. You can. And you should.
It was
as well as other people.
a monster. The Square Enix account management system is obtusely stupid. It's absurd. Like, I reset my password and did the whole, like, what's your secret answer to the secret question, and make sure you verify yourself through your email and all of that, and then it still said, due to suspicious activity, your account is currently suspended. I was like, the suspicious activity is me, myself, resetting my own password. What are you talking about?
Yep, Haley forgot her password because she now has a fancy PS5 to play the game on, so she had to reset it and did the same thing of, there's suspicious activity, someone reset your password.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing I just now thought of. I have a copy of Heavensward on PlayStation 4, so I could probably play on my PlayStation 2 if I wanted to.
Well, PS4 or PS2?
PlayStation as well if I wanted to.
Yeah,
and then
I think the first time I played was on the PS4.
Apparently we're playing on a different data center or world server or whatever. I don't freaking care about that stuff than I had originally started on, so I had to transfer my character, which costs money, and I was like, screw it. It was like $18. Like, who cares? But you can't use PayPal through the account management system, so I tried to use Amazon Pay. I was like, well, I'm already logged into Amazon. It's in my password manager or whatever. I'll do that. Password manager didn't autofill it through the Square Enix interface for some reason. And then I found out that I can add the Square Enix, like, Microsoft Points style, like, what do you call that? Proprietary currency? I don't know. In-house currency of Krista, I guess they call it. You can pay for it with that, and you can buy those through PayPal. So you can buy the in-house currency at a cost of 1 Krista to 1 cent through PayPal. But you can't just pay your subscription or anything like that directly through PayPal. What is going on, Square Enix? Figure out how money works.
No, we don't need Xbox or Nintendo points.
Just do money. Just do regular old money. I don't know why. I thought we had left all of the dumb, but I guess with mobile games these days, with their, like, buy gems and buy gold, the proprietary currency system is back in vogue. Ugh, I hate it.
I don't have to worry about any of that stuff because I'm a free trial person, so I can't do anything.
You can't even do it to begin with. Lucky you.
Yep, I can't even, like, log into the forums on their website.
Jeez, I didn't know they had forums.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think I can log into a profile or anything.
We played a little bit this past week, actually, together, and in the course of, like, the 1 or 2, probably wasn't even 2 hours, but in the course of that short amount of time...
It was like 1 hour.
It was about an hour. I did go up 2 levels, so that's nice to get some actual progress, considering the first time I played for like 10 hours and got to level 20.
Yeah, see, that's why I was all like, yeah, you should probably just take the character over, because you're right about to unlock the first dungeon. You unlock the second dungeon right when we were done for the day. So you have had to go through all of that boring initial story stuff if you had to restart.
Which is why I was like, nah, I'll just pay the $18 to not do any of that and actually play with my friends. Thanks. Goodbye. I also have gotten back into City Skylines, which means that I don't sleep anymore again.
Oh yeah, I remember that one time where I went to bed and you were streaming on Discord, and I woke up and you were still streaming it on Discord.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And I just joined it. It's like, hey,
you doing okay there,
you
buddy?
okay?
Must
Hey,
build
buddy.
infrastructure. It's fun. I really like it. Like I this new city, I've learned a lot since back then. So the new city that I've been running, the only form of conveyance that I have is cars and pedestrian paths. I don't have any buses. I don't have any metro lines. I don't have anything like that. And I've maintained
Bike paths.
Well, technically pedestrian and bike path are the same as far as the game's algorithm is concerned. But doing just that with utilizing proper like road management and strategies for the differences between highways, roads, and streets, which is very important. And I will definitely gladly rant about that more in the post show if anybody's interested. Using that, I've kept for a brief amount of time, I dipped down to 79% traffic flow, but otherwise, for the entirety of this play of this city, I have maintained above 80% traffic flow. And that's with having now gotten up to, I believe I'm at a capital city level, which is a very, quite a far way along.
What does 80% traffic flow necessarily mean?
The lower your traffic flow, the slower the cars are going, because it's about your traffic efficiency. So like a higher flow means more cars are going through places.
Nice.
And the traffic management, at least for me and for a lot of people, I imagine, it's like that is the meat and potatoes of Cities Skylines. The rest of it's cool and all, but it's about getting an efficient traffic flow that is the actual finicky details. To be fair,
now, if only actual cities would pay attention to that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be? I'm going to complain about that in the post show. To be fair to my previous playthrough was straight vanilla. I have now been playing with the traffic manager mod that allows you to do a lot more granular changes to your traffic flow. Like, you can set priorities on your streets, you know, like your yield signs versus just having a regular old stop sign. You can set specific lane exchanges, so instead of just letting the AI do whatever it wants, horky borky, you can actually set, all right, this lane can only exit and these lanes can only go straight through and stuff like that, which obviously...
Can you do roundabouts?
Oh yeah, roundabouts are nigh essential for any good... That was what was crazy, actually, is I had just started putting in my first roundabouts right when I was getting up to around capital city size. So, getting that high of a traffic flow using quote-unquote traditional intersections was also a little bit of a feather in my cap. So I really like Cities Skylines.
I see.
Which, I guess I'll take this opportunity and sort of tease this out here, because it's just on the cusp of actually happening. But I've been working with a friend of the show, Himaru, Aaron, and we're going to probably, I think in May, if we can finalize the details, we will be running a Bombers Cities Skylines tournament.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, we're going to run our own city.
No, we do that already. No, we're going to do a Cities Skylines.
In real life.
Oh, in real life? That'd be bananas. No, we're going to do a tournament. So if you have Cities Skylines or have been interested in getting Cities Skylines, here's something for you to do or motivation for you to get it. Because there will be actual prizes involved, and it will run through the month of May. We'll have 4 different play sessions, 4 different competitions, 1 a week through the month of May. And more details to come, I guess, once we finalize the last little bits of that. Didn't know I was going to announce that, but here we are.
All right.
You been playing anything else?
Yes, actually. My friend came over last Tuesday, so we got to finally start on Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Oh, nice.
Yep. First, we watched the second episode of the Halo show, and then we made our characters for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That took the rest of the night.
Why did it take... I don't remember character creation in Borderlands being that involved.
Oh, this one actually is pretty involved. They try to give you a lot of stuff to do. If you can even, like, have your eyes and ears and mouth, like, not parallel or whatever.
What is that called? Symmetrical?
Yeah, symmetrical.
That's cool. I didn't know it got that involved. That's actually really awesome. I'm glad they leaned into that aspect of the tabletop RPG.
Yeah,
portion.
And then they have 6 classes. Apparently, there's a 7th one that we can unlock later on in the game. And then there's going to be multi-classing too at some point.
Love it. That's fun.
And and their stats, there's the strength, dexterity, etc. stuff, and so they have not racial bonuses, but like backstory bonuses to decide what stats you'll start with. And then every time we level up, we gain one stat point to put into whatever we feel like as well. So glad about that.
Similar to the like ladder points that were in the other Borderlands with
Yeah. So
general perk points.
So far, it looks like each class only has one tree, but I guess that makes sense if you're going to multi-class, because then you'll have two trees.
Yeah, and it helps further hammer the TTRPG style, because most TTRPG classes, well, specifically definitely D&D, but generally speaking, it's one progression tree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could have like subclass things, but then you would still be just progressing down that.
Yep.
So I'm a spell weaver, meaning I like do more stuff with spells. Spells basically replaced grenades for this game, and they're really cool. We recently, at the very end of when we stopped playing, we got spells that basically sends like a meteor down to the ground, and it like sucks people in as it's coming down. It does a bunch of damage, and so instead of like having a physical amount of grenades that you had to replenish, it's just a
MP
timer thing where after you use the spell, you just have to wait a certain amount of time that you can do it again. And so that's one of the stats, is decreasing the amount of time it takes. So obviously that's a stat I care about.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then my friend is playing as the... was it? The Stabomancer, I think?
Stabomancer. Love that.
So his special is like he throws out a spinning blade that kind of just stays in place for a bit and such. My special currently is that I can turn people into sheep, and then
polymorph other.
Yeah, polymorph into a sheep, and then you can like deal damage to the sheep. And while you're doing that, I get other bonuses depending on my skill tree and such. So it's pretty cool.
Do they turn back?
Yeah, they do turn back after a bit.
Okay.
So. Sadly, I was hoping that it would like turn into a sheep and be like Ratchet and Clank, where it like starts shooting other enemies, but it didn't work out that way.
Oh well.
And then there's a huge emphasis now on melee weapons. Melee weapons are now one of the like loot items, like guns. So, like there was a blood sword, which obviously gave you drain, so you would get health back as you're hitting enemies.
One of those mechanics. Those are always fun to manage.
Yeah, so at one point we got like ice element guns, and we were just freezing people and hacking away at them. So, I mean, it's nice having a weapon as a mage sniper person. It's like, oh no, someone's right in front of me.
Stab. Yep.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun so far. Plenty of D&D and other TTRPG elements in it. Oh, and then like... instead of just an overall like map that you go from like area to area, there's an overworld that acts like a hub world thing, and so it looks like like a 3D
what
3D model kind of thingamafigure that we have chibi characters traveling on it.
Oh.
And so like you travel to different areas by going through this hub world and finding like the gates, and then you enter the gates, and then you're in the normal Borderlands looking areas and levels then.
As opposed to the instance areas that are all map teleporty blah 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 that were in the other Borderlands.
Yeah, like I think we can still like teleport, but this is just a way to like find new areas.
As opposed to literally just going through doors.
Yeah. It's kind of nice. I like it. And of course, the story so far has been pretty good. It starts with, there's two other characters you're playing the game with, but, so like, they also will tag in with, like, phrases and such as is happening, which is good, because then it's not just your character saying everything.
Yeah. Even if, now is that because it's still Borderlands, so you can have a party of 4 actual people playing with you.
Yeah, so like it was the two of us playing, but like we were basically story-wise playing as the same character. We are the Fate Master, And so, like, the two other party members are just not non-playable characters that don't even actually have characters helping you. They're literally just there to root for you.
That's interesting.
It is. I mean, it's basically like the original Tiny Tina DLC where you had the Borderlands characters,
Yeah, Brick and Lilith.
talking about the stuff they're doing. So, like, Brick, Lilith, and Mordecai are all three there. Even if you're playing by yourself, all three of them are talking.
But they're not necessarily present in the actual gameplay that you're doing.
Yeah, so it's basically just like that.
Okay. I'm following.
Oh, and also, there's like 8 different voices your character can have, so that's another nice thing. It's not just
the voice for the character that you are.
Yeah, it's a voice based on personality instead of class.
Nice, that's fun. Gives you a little more customizability. Oh boy, get near the end of the episode, I guess.
So it's a lot of fun. Definitely excited to play more. It's just sad that we only meet once a week, so it's gonna take forever to beat this game.
And you specifically are playing it couch and not online.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to buy it for us to play it online.
Gotcha.
But like, I got the digital deluxe edition or whatever. It comes with the season pass and also the PS4 and 5 copies. So I just downloaded it on PS5 and 4. So now we don't even have to split screen. We just played on 2 of my consoles.
Crazy.
So technically, it was online. It's just in the same room.
I guess at that point, yeah, technically it's not even LAN. It's going through the online service.
Yeah, but like, it ran pretty well. I didn't notice any hiccups or anything.
That's good.
Which is usually on par for Borderlands. Like, they'll have weird graphical issues and such, but their online is pretty good.
The actual...
Oh, and also this game has crossplay, so we can play with PC and Xbox people.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember if 3 had that, but nothing prior to 3 had that, definitely.
3, unless 3 introduced it later on in its life, I know it did not release with that. But I'm glad to see more crossplay stuff becoming more... just happening more,
Yeah. Which, like, I guess I'm surprised that took so long. Well, I mean, besides PlayStation not initially allowing it, because Borderlands did have its own account system, forget what it's called. So
Shift?
they could have done it. Yeah, Shift.
Well, they had...
So they...
I want to say, I think that the computer and Xbox could always play together because, Microsoft.
Well, yeah.
But Sony has been Sony in its own little ecosystem for the longest time.
Yeah, but it was like 3 or 4 years ago when Sony was all like, fine, you can do it, but you have to, have your own accounts and set it up yourself.
Do it yourself.
So it's definitely been a while since they announced that.
Well, it started with when they started doing it with Rocket League, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
It was the first game that really led the foray there.
Well, I remember it was Fortnite where I was all like, man, it would be really nice if we had crossplay. Because I signed into my Fortnite account, which was originally on a computer, and I signed it onto my PlayStation, and I was no longer able to sign into that account on any other device.
Not only is it, obnoxious, cross-play is fine. What I wish more things did is cross-save, so that you logged into, say, your Borderlands account, and the character that you were progressing, like Destiny 2 does it, for example. But, instead of, for, say, Fortnite, hey, I paid money to unlock these cosmetics, but I unlocked them on my Xbox account, which means that I don't have access to them on my PC account or my PlayStation account. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say if there is crossplay, there's absolutely no reason not to have cross-save.
Well, it's all the money, because if you buy it on Xbox, Microsoft gets a cut of those funds, but if you buy it on PlayStation, Sony gets a cut of those funds. So, of course, if you buy it on a Microsoft environment, then why would Sony allow you to transfer it over to there? They didn't get money for that. It's...
Yay,
I get it. I just
money.
hate it. Yeah. It's all about them microtransactions, Xiaber.
It is, and those macrotransactions.
Just transactions. This is what matters. This is what makes the world go round. Anyways, go to Patreon and become friends of the show.
Yeah. We will microtransact you.
Oh, I'll transact you as long as you want. You give me.